Hey, welcome to the Birdcraft Technology. Here, we foster the culture of being committed aviation professionals. We do this by making podcasts and doing YouTube videos on subjects of aviation education, what it takes to become an aircraft mechanic, what may be involved to become a pilot, and a lot of standard practices, and generally just having discussions around safe topics and communicating with others in the aviation industry. We talk about everything it takes to become a successful aviation professional. Welcome. Today we're going to be talking about what skills you need to hone if you aspire to be an aviation professional. This is going to be especially unique for those who are, again, aspiring to be, or if you're entry level, because if you're experienced, chances are you already have these skills, and if you're extremely experienced, maybe you just need a reminder. But 3 skills that you have to hone if you want to become an aviation professional. Number 1 is reading. I can't tell you how much reading I do because of my job. I can't tell you how much reading all of my aviation peers have to do because of their job. Especially if you're in aircraft maintenance, all of the technical data you have to become familiar with, the obstacles you encounter, where you have to go find your own resources in technical data, and you have to read and understand a page or two to go to another page or two to go to another website and you have to understand how to read, and you cannot just have a basic understanding. You need to practice reading. You need to be good at reading. You need to hone that skill. Alright, so the second thing you need to have if you want to be an aviation professional is courage. I took a moment to think about this. When the reason courage is important is because you have to have the courage to step up when you see something unsafe. And let's face it, we're always battling safety or the lack thereof. And if you're some entry level or new person who's involved in an operation and you're concerned about, your career, but you're also concerned about making a good impression with your boss, and you're concerned about, maybe your goal is to fly under the radar. Maybe you just want to put in your year or two. Maybe you're doing line service. If you see something unsafe, you have to say something. If you see something unsafe, you have to say something. If your boss, if your trainer is a jerk and they're doing something unsafe and you know it's unsafe, you have to figure out a way to stop what is unsafe from happening. Or you have to find a way to communicate why that's unsafe and make sure the person who is being unsafe understands the risks that they're taking. That's your responsibility. You have to have the courage for that. We do, as aviation professionals. We have to have courage. You want some pilot in the cockpit who's a little scaredy cat? He's had a little bit of turbulence all his career, but all of a sudden we're in this shaky craft and he's being bounced around, and all of a sudden he turns into a little wuss. Maybe it's a helicopter and he drops the stick. He lets go of the cyclic. Nah, man. I want someone with courage in my aviation operation. I want a pilot with courage in the cockpit. I want a mechanic with courage who has messed something up, but now comes to tell me, hey, boss, I screwed up that $200,000 part that I was supposed to install. That takes courage, because he could have put it on, clocked out, went home. That airplane could have took off. Maybe it crashed, maybe it did not. But we let an unsafe aircraft leave the ground because you, Mr. Aircraft Mechanic, did not have the courage. Number 3 skill that you have to hone. You have to hone this one, baby. I'm telling you. We talk about getting your license here in aviation. Your aircraft mechanic license is your ticket to learn, right? Your license is a ticket to learn. Now the FAA says we give you the privileges. We give you these privileges. But do you think you know it all? Just because you pass the minimum requirements to become, at that point, are you a master? No, you're not. So you got to know how to stow the ego. That's number 3, stow the ego. Stow the ego. You know what that means? It means swallow your pride. Swallow your pride. You know, I talk about being groomed by about 5, a little more than that, it floated. About 5 older aircraft mechanics. Their ages were ages 65 to 74 years old. One of them had the Charles Taylor Award. Do you know who Charles Taylor is? Go look it up. Charles Taylor Award is if you have been a mechanic for 50 years. You have 50 years of experience as an aircraft mechanic. So one of them had a Charles Taylor Award. And I'm pretty sure a couple of more were eligible. But I had a ton of experience in these mentors. To support this point right here, you're learning from those who are older and more skilled, and you have to give them a reason to want to invest in you. And minimally, that's going to be vibing with them. It's dealing with them. And so shut yourself off. Think about the goal. Okay, I want to become an aviation maintenance expert. I want to become a pilot. I want to become an air traffic controller. This person has a lot of knowledge that I can learn. And so what I'm going to do so I can learn it is I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm going to ignore his political views. I'm going to ignore his or her dirty jokes. And not to say that if it gets bad, it doesn't need to be dealt with, but as a rule of thumb, number 3, the skill you have to know as an aviation professional, those entry level and aspiring to be on another level, is you gotta stow the ego. Alright? So, those are the skills that you want to hone, the top 3 skills that you want to hone if you want to become an aviation professional, or if you're aspiring to become an aircraft mechanic, become a pilot, become an aircraft controller, aeronautical engineer. Hey, there's 4 free things you can do to support the culture. All of them are free. I can guarantee you already know one. Subscribe to the YouTube. Like it. Number 2, check out the podcast. Rate it. Hopefully it's 5 stars. I try to make it 5 stars. Number 3, follow me on IG. 4, follow the Facebook page. We're building the culture of being committed aviation professionals. We're fostering that culture by creating podcasts, YouTube videos, and digital content. I hope you guys got a lot out of this session. Talk to you soon. Until next time, continue to pursue excellence.